I've never posted on here before, but for those who followed my husband Sam over the years, I am Zoe. I'm only doing this because a lot of you showed him tremendous support, which I appreciate, and hope that anyone who finds themselves going through crisis like he was will get help. Those who followed him know that 6 months ago, we had an incident where he fell asleep while watching our son Stephen. I wasn't angry, and I didn't blame him. I knew he was having a hard time. I was afraid. I had been trying to get him to get help for a while at that point, and with the emotion on the moment he snapped and lashed out. He hadn't done so in many years. At that point, I made a horrible mistake I regret more than all my other life regrets combined. I was frustrated, but thought a little space would help us both diffuse. I was calm. I told him I just needed a break. I meant just for a few hours, and we went to my mother's house. I never should have left him alone. About an hour and a half later, I got a call from my brother. He was so distressed. He had gotten a text from Sam asking for some help in the basement and to just let himself in. That's where he found him. He had hung himself from the basement ceiling. I hate that I couldn't see it sooner. Years went by before I really started to notice. It's just so hard when you're young. I was working too. We were trying to buy a house and have kids, travel. It was a whirlwind. When Stephen came, I started to stay home. That's when I finally noticed. There had been hints. I just didn't want to see it, I guess. You just don't want to admit things to yourself. You want to think he did all this just because he wants to. You think you're reciprocating it. Reading his posts, I didn't even realize how much I missed. I know he was actively hiding his stress and habits. I know he rug-swept all his emotions that could be taken negatively. But there were hints. Why couldn't I see them? I'm the catalyst of his descent. I know I didn't deserve him after what I did. I've felt that shame for 8 years now. I've done everything I could think of to repent for my choices. I won't justify them. I was wrong, and I hurt someone I love beyond measure. I'm sure some of you wonder how I could do that to him. I wonder that myself often. It's easy to throw out the usual excuses. I was young. I was immature. To tell you the actual truth, it really was just FOMO, combined with having a few friends in my ear, which I now realize they were not friends, and a schoolgirl crush on a classmate, was all it took for me to traumatize the most important person in my life. It sounds so dumb written out, but it's true. The NRE lasted about a month. Then it was 3 weeks of making up reasons to see it through. By time I left, I knew I had made a huge mistake and came crawling back. I still shudder thinking how much I compartmentalized. The sight of him when I showed up has always haunted me. It's guilt I deserve and will always hold on to. For all the remorse I feel over what I did when I was 21, it pales to the feelings I have not being able to help him before it was too late. I think I have read his posts almost every day in these last 6 months. I failed him so much I'll hold on to this pain for the rest of my life. I'll have to watch our son grow up without his father. Nothing will ever fill this void. I don't know what I wanted to accomplish with this, though it's been surprisingly cathartic. Maybe this will help someone else, someone holding on to something they can't handle on their own. If that's you, seek help. It's not weakness. It's strength. No one is perfect. No one can do it all on their own.